Good evening, children. Today we are going to see the lesson Life Process, which is chapter 6 of class 10. So what is a life process? Every organism has to perform some activities like eating, growing, respiring, etc. to make or keep itself alive. So the basic functions performed by a living organism for their survival and body maintenance is life process. Okay, so how do you find whether the organism is alive or not? So there's a small acronym, Mrs. Green, where M stands for movement, R for respiration, S for sensitivity to touch, light, etc. G stands for growth, R for reproduction. There are two R here, one for respiration, the other for reproduction, excretion, digestion and nutrition. So these are the basic activities which a living organism performs. Okay, so if we see a dog running or a cow chewing cud or a man shouting loudly on the street, we know that these are living beings. What if dog and the cow or the man are asleep? We should think that they are alive. They were alive, but now did we know that? Yes, they are breathing. So what about plants? So in case of plants, I would like to tell you what the sunflower does. You know what does the sunflower do? It carries out a process called heliotropism. Okay,
it faces the sun.
Whenever the sun rises, it faces east, and slowly and steadily as the direction of sun changes in the midday, it will become straight, and when the sun sets, it will start to face the west. Okay, this sunflower goes about a procedure called heliotropism, and there is also various phenomenon like geotropism, phototropism, where the shoot system of the plant grows towards light and the root system of the plant tends to grow towards the ground. So this way we can find that the plants are alive. How do we know that they are alive? We see them green, some of us will say. But what about plants that have leaves of colors that are other than green? They grow over time, so they are alive. In other words, we tend to think of some sort of movement, either growth related or not, as common evidence of being alive. Okay, but a plant that's not visibly growing is still alive, and some animals can breathe without visible movement. So using visible movement as defining characteristic of life is not just enough. They can be stationary also, but still they can be alive also. Okay, so there is a common example of the touch me not plant. Okay, when you touch it, it will droop its leaves. Okay, movements over a small scale can be invisible to naked eye. So you can't find the roots moving towards the water source through naked eyes. So if you take a black box covered with black chart in all the directions, and if you allow one small opening there and place a small plant inside the black box, if you place it near the window, over a period of time you can find its leaves and branches trying to move towards the source of light. So over a period of time, of course, you can observe movement in plants. If we think this question to professional biologists, they will say yes. In fact, viruses behave both as a particle as well as a living thing. It's an infectious particle. Once they are inside the body, they function as a alive organism. Okay, and that's partly why there is a controversy about whether it's truly alive or not. Inside the organism, this infective particle appears to be alive. It reproduces. Okay, So why are molecular movements needed for life? We have seen in earlier classes, living organisms, well organized structures, they can have tissues, they can have cells. Cells have smaller components in them called organelles. So in the body we have several organs, organ systems. Cells have organelles like the nucleus. So plant cells have chloroplast, mitochondria. So they are called organelles. Because of the effect of environment, this organized nature of living structures is likely to keep breaking down over time. If order breaks down, the organism will no longer be alive. So living creatures must keep repairing and maintaining their structures. So according to the environment, they show some variations to keep themselves alive in this world. They should not become extinct like dinosaurs. So some variations are happening within themselves. Since all these structures are made up of molecules, they must move molecules around all the time. What are maintenance processes in living organisms? So now we are moving to the actual lesson.